What's up, guys? It's Breakshift. I've got another funny deck to share with you guys. In the new pack that just came out, we've got the new Ancient Fairy Dragon support. And this stuff is pretty good. There's a variety of fun options that you can go into with these new cards, and I came up with this silly deck that bridges into the Allure Queen stuff. The Allure Queen cards came out a little while ago. They're actually pretty decent, but the big issue they have is that you're pretty much exclusively trying to draw Dance or Palace, the field spell and the continuous spell. Those cards are pretty good, but in order to use them, you have to play all of the crappy old level monsters and this semi-bricky Chaos Allure Queen card. Not very consistent. There's no way to like search Dance at all, and Palace was pretty much reliant on generic field spell searching, which is very hard to come by at this point. But Ancient Fairy Dragon, of course, being able to add field spells makes it a lot more consistent to find this card. And there's a little bit of additional crossover synergy between these two archetypes beyond that. So I've been trying to do something with Allure Queen for a while, and this seemed like the best chance to make it happen. We're also playing some Altergeist cards as well as some Fiendsmith stuff. So Fairy Dragon, Allure Queen, Altergeist, Fiendsmith is, I guess, the full breadth of what this deck is. Let's go over what some of these cards do, and then I've got just some little combo showcases at the end to show you guys the deck in action. So the main card in the Ancient Fairy Dragon lineup that we want is this guy, Regulus the Fairy Beast. If you normal or special him, you get to add a spell or trap that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon. We have exactly one target, it's this, World of Spirits. And we're pretty much only normal summoning this guy. He's our primary normal summon. So he gets to add World of Spirits. We activate World of Spirits. When it's activated, add a monster that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon. So we're going to be adding Spore the Fairy Seed off of this card. And then we'll use Regulus' second effect. During the main phase, special a level 4 or lower light monster, beast, plant, or fairy from your hand in defense position. So that'll get the Spore onto the board. In different decks, you can actually go Regulus for Spirit World for Regulus, and then he can summon himself. So you can use that to like get into rank 4. It's kind of interesting. But we'll just be doing the Spore line here. This guy's a tuner. And if he's special, he can boost his level based on how many monsters you have. So we'll be doing that to boost him up to be level 3. 3 plus 4 makes 7 for Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon then can pop the World of Spirits to search any field spell from the deck. And then later on down the line, you'll be able to use the third effect of Regulus, banish it from grave, target a field in the grave, put it on the bottom, draw 1. So you can recycle the World of Spirits, draw a card. And this guy also has a grave effect where if you control Ancient Fairy Dragon, he can come out of the graveyard, but he synchro locks you. So that's the gist of the AFD support cards. It's quite powerful. By using your normal summon, you get to search any field spell. You get Ancient Fairy Dragon on the board, who, besides the field spell searching effect, has this special summon of a level 4 or lower from hand at the cost of your battle phase. Getting the free tuner back from Spore, getting the free draw from Regulus. It's quite strong. It's a good bit of advantage. It opens up a lot of doors. But we're going to be getting Allure Palace. That's the main reason we're playing this engine. Allure Palace is a really interesting card. It has the stat boosting effect, whatever, who cares. The really interesting part comes next. It has a thrice per turn effect. That's pretty rare. You don't see that often. We get to send a card from hand to graveyard to either add an Allure Queen or special it to the opponent's field. Keep an eye out when you're using this card. Every time you activate it, it's going to say, do you want to special summon the monster? And your instincts are going to say to click yes. Don't do that. It's going to special it to the opponent's field, okay? So this just kind of transforms cards in your hand into the Allure Queen cards 3 times per turn. And then it also has this other strange effect that it applies to the Allure Queen monsters. They can send themselves, if they're equipped, to special summon any spellcaster with 1500 or less from the deck, which is ridiculous. There are so many cards that you can summon off of this. Lots of interesting things you can do. You can go really crazy with the kind of combos you want to pull off. We're keeping it relatively low to the ground. Our target is Altergeist Meluseek, because this just represents a lot of free Link material. We're going to summon her out, link her off for Artemis, or you can use Relinquished Anima as well. This card has more applications going second, since it can take an opponent's monster if they've put it in the wrong zone. But it does need to be one of these. Don't use Link Karibo. We need it to be a spellcaster. So we'll link it off. When she's linked off, she can add an Altergeist card. We'll get Malwisp. Malwisp is like a Poplar. If you add it to hand, she'll special herself and then reborn the Meluseek. So we've turned one Meluseek into Meluseek plus Malwisp plus a Link, so that's 3 materials. All spellcasters. That lets us make the Golden Allure Queen, their Link 3. This card's really cool. As soon as you summon her, she gets to bring out an Allure Queen from the deck or grave. She boosts herself by 15, so she'll be pretty big. Plus, of course, the boost from the field spell, potentially another 500. She'll be large. And then she also has another kind of weird effect, which makes your Allure Queen monsters that the effects that equip become quick effects. That's very relevant, because what the Allure Queen monsters can do, all of them, if you've summoned them using the smaller one, they get to equip an opponent's monster to themselves. The level 3 can only target a level 3 or lower monster, level 5 can target a level 5 or lower monster, level 7 can target any monster. Obviously, that's very important because this lets you use it on like extra deck monsters and stuff, since they don't have a level. You have to use the 7 one if you want to use her effect on those kind of monsters. So this is pretty mediocre board breaking normally, but now with Golden Allure Queen making them quick effects, they're actually strong disruption. In addition, once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can destroy one card on the field, non-targeting, and then she applies this protection. All your Allure Queens can't be destroyed by card effects for the rest of the turn. So that makes her pretty hard to get rid of. Remember, she's got huge stats because she boosted herself, maybe the field spell's boosting her, and now she can't be destroyed by card effects as well. So it has to be non-targeting, or rather, it has to be non-destruction removal. It can't be by battle for the most part. She's going to be bigger than almost everything else on the field. Pretty decent little monster. And then the card that she summons when you make her, we're going to be using that to get Chaos Allure Queen. Chaos Allure Queen is a really interesting card. It does a lot of strange stuff, but the most relevant thing here is that we can target a monster in either graveyard, equip it to this. So since that's an effect which equips itself, this will become a quick effect when Golden Allure Queen's on the field. She changes her name, then meaning that this happens after her name is changed. If you equip to Light or Dark, you can special an Allure Queen from the deck or grave. So she changes her name to the equipped card and then summons. That lets us cheat the requirements on the Allure Queen monsters. Normally, the level monsters are supposed to level up, so 3 would turn into 5, which turns into 7. That sucks. It's way too slow. Nobody's got time for that. So instead, you'll be doing Chaos Allure Queen. She'll, like, change her name into 5 by equipping. Then when she special summons 7 from the deck, 7 thinks that 5 summoned it. So it's a pretty cheesy method of getting around those requirements. But just within the Allure Queen engine itself, you'll have this giant monster, you'll have a non-targeting pop, you'll have a quick effect to equip the opponent's monster. That's pretty good, right? That's not too bad. But then in addition to that as well, of course, if we've used the Ancient Fairy Dragon stuff, we'll still have the AFD hanging out on the board. You can bring back Spore. Spore can sync with Ancient Fairy Dragon to make a variety of different synchros, because remember, this thing boosts its level based on the number of monsters you control, and it's up to that many levels. So very flexible. After you've done your other combo lines and stuff, you can manipulate this thing's level all over the place. I personally just have a real soft spot for a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, so this is what I'm liking to make. This card used to be a real powerhouse. It's a bit dated at this point, but still not a bad card at all. It can negate and destroy a monster effect. It boosts its attack based on the monster's attack that it negated. And then this effect will catch people out these days since people don't remember this card. But if it battles a level 5 or higher monster, it gains even more attack. So another really giant card, pretty decent negation effect. Obviously, I would say, well, of course, we should just be making Baron, but we can already access Baron with the Altergeist and Allure Queen cards, because Malwisp is a level 3 tuner. We're going to be using this with the level 7 Allure Queens to make Baron. And then you'll have leftover link material as well, so obviously the best thing you can do with random leftover link material is Fiendsmith, because Moon of the Closed Heaven, for some reason, is still not banned yet. If you don't like the Fiendsmith stuff, you can just put in whatever other generic link you would like. You can make an IP, because we'll have an extra monster to use it with. You can make Solo Hat Rabbit, you know, whatever you're interested in. We also have access to Chaos Angel, of course, because we've got level 7 Light Monster, level 3 Dark, and you can do it the other way around as well. Malwisp is a Light, so level 3 Light, level 7 Dark. You can get your Chaos Angel going. As mentioned, like I said, we have access to Relinquished Anima with level 1 monsters. That's also part of why I'm playing Effect Veiler here. This guy's a level 1 Spellcaster Tuner. That's actually, all of those things are relevant. He's a Spellcaster, so you can use him to make the Golden Allure Queen, because she needs spellcasters. You can use him to make Relinquished Anima. The fact that he's a tuner, he could stand in for, like, you know, a Spore if need be. You could summon him to go into one of your synchros, potentially. The non-engine here, you can swap it out for whatever you feel like. Of course, like if you're playing against a lot of Malice and stuff, you can play Lancias, you could put draws in and stuff. I just put in just the basic classic hand traps, because I prefer the kind of gameplay that those end up being involved in. But that's the gist of the deck. Is it good? Absolutely not. It's super weak going second. It's a little bit bricky. There's quite a few garnets in here. They're all pretty much soft garnets. Like, it's not a disaster if you draw these Allure Queen cards, as long as you still have access to your main engine, because the field spell is going to put them on our hand anyway. We don't really want to draw them. We'd rather draw other stuff. And you do have to send a bunch of cards off to replace them with the Allure Queen stuff. It really mostly is just sort of one of those solitaire-style decks where if you go first, you win, and if you go second, you lose. But a little bit less consistent. So maybe not the most fun deck for the opponent, and I'm probably not going to play this a ton, but I just enjoy building these kind of decks, and I thought it was funny and that I'd like to show it off to you guys. So with that in mind, let's check out some of those combos so we can see them in action. I'm just going to show the two main combo lines, which are the first one from normal summoning Regulus, and the second one is if you have Dance. There's a decent ability for this deck to kind of just like freestyle based on what your hand is and how the opponent chooses to interact. So if anything other than just Regulus or just Dance is going on, you can play it by ear if you know the main lines. It's not too difficult to get back into those positions if you can just like find the field spell by any means. And the cards that you send with the field spell to replace the cards with the Allure Queen stuff, I'm just using whatever in these examples here, but obviously, you know, you want to be smart about that if you're playing an actual duel. Keep relevant hand traps, right? Keep stuff like the Fiendsmith things if you are worried that they're going to negate your stuff and you'll need a backup plan. But anyway, let's check out the first combo here, which is from Regulus. So you just normal summon out your Regulus. You're going to use the effect, grab the field spell. The field spell, of course, going to get us Spore. If they negate your Regulus, it is a pretty big problem. If they hit him with like an Imperm or a Veiler, because then all of his effects are off. But otherwise, if it works out, you just go ahead and summon the Spore out, boost him up, make sure you boost him by 2. Go ahead and go into the Ancient Fairy Dragon. When you summon this, the field spell starts applying this weird effect that'll like put it in defense position. We don't really care about that effect all that much, but just keep that in mind. The AFD will always be in D mode. So we'll use the effect here. We'll get the Allure Palace. Palace is going to be the thing that gets us all of the Allure Queen monsters. So yeah, just sending off whatever cards are least useful in your hand. Notice that it is sending, not discarding. So I have like Lurie in hand here. You can't trigger Lurie like this. Just something to keep in mind. And remember not to click Special Summon. It's going to ask you that. You're going to want to say yes. No. Always say no. So you need to grab 3, 5, and Chaos. Those are always the names that you want. And then Allure Queen, Chaos Allure Queen needs to discard 5. That way we can equip 5, and then when we summon 7 from the deck here, it'll have its effects live. Obviously, if you're going first like this and they have nothing on the board, that's technically not relevant, but there's no reason not to have her effects up. We'll use the effect she gets from the field spell. Summon out the Meluseek. Now we can just do the Altergeist line here to get free link material. I did think about trying to put in like a more comprehensive suite of Altergeist cards, but unfortunately it just doesn't really make much sense. Multi-faker locking you into Altergeist cards for the turn is just really rough. Makes synergies hard to come by, so... Anyway, now that we've done this, here we can use the Malwisp to make a Baron. The ordering here gets a little tricky, so make sure you're doing it right. After Baron comes down, then we're going to use AFD to special summon the level 3 from our hand. That's why we have to play 3. Otherwise, you don't need her, but Ancient Fairy Dragon can only summon level 4 and lower monsters. Technically, it also does open up some options with Dance, but we'll get to that in the next combo. So, Golden Allure Queen here, you want to summon Chaos. This is important. So you can see here she's up to 45, massive. We'll go ahead and use the Regulus effect now. You don't want to use it earlier because you might draw one of the cards that you're just going to be searching anyway, or you might draw a Garnet like your Malwisps or something. Better to finish all your comboing and then draw. We'll summon Spore back, not manipulate its level. Sync it up into our Crystal Wing. And that is the end of our plays normally. So here if you had any sort of other extension, you could access like your Fiendsmith stuff potentially, right? Or in this case, we could just set this back row. But then on the opponent's turn, it's going to prompt you during the standby phase for Baron, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use Chaos Allure Queen. She's going to attach 5 from the graveyard. Remember, this is a quick effect because of the link. That's going to summon 7 back out of the grave, and since Chaos changed her name, 7 is live, and it's a quick effect because of the Golden Allure Queen. So we've got Monster Negate with Crystal Wing, the Equipping effect with the Allure Queen level 7, Baron Negate, Pop with Golden Allure Queen, and then the Chaos Allure Queen isn't actually necessary anymore, she's just hanging out. So that's why I said, like, if you were going to make an IP, you can use that, get rid of the Allure Queen. But don't forget that as well, she will have that protection when the Golden Allure Queen pops. And now let's check out the other combo. Here's a combo for if you draw Allure Dance. When you activate Dance, it just grabs you the field spell. And then the field spell, of course, is going to get us the monsters. We won't have access to the Crystal Wing just from using Allure Dance, because you do need the Ancient Fairy Dragon stuff for that. So again, we're going to go ahead and search for Chaos Allure Queen, level 5, and level 3. This time, Allure Queen level 3 is going to be our normal summon of choice. Since we aren't normal summoning Regulus for this line, we still have that available to us. Just like before, Chaos can ascend 5, and then equip it. So we'll go ahead and grab that out. Special summon 7 from deck, just like before. And again, we're going to go into the Altergeist package here. One of the other interesting options you can do instead of Altergeist is Magistus, with the relatively recent Magistus support as well. They have some cool stuff going on with them. I haven't explored that a ton yet. You can do very similar lines to this, where you're just getting free link material. There are some other things that you can go into with them as well, though. They can make like rank 4s and stuff. I'm just not very interested in any kind of rank 4 strategy at the moment with Ryziel around, because you'll just end up asking yourself, why am I not playing Ryziel? So we'll go ahead and make Baron de Fleur here by using the Allure Queen level 7. We'll normal summon that 3, just like I mentioned. This will let us get into Golden. The Golden effect to revive here isn't actually particularly relevant, because you'll see in a moment we're going to use the other effect of Allure Dance, which can send off the field spell to reborn as many differently named Allure Queens as you want from the graveyard. So if they like negated Golden Allure Queen or something, you could just summon all the same back anyway. All 4 of these guys are going to be on the field. Hard to imagine a situation where they didn't use their negation until this point. But, you know, it's possible, I guess. We're going to go into Fiendsmith here when we link off. Make sure that you link off 7. We actually end up with 1 extra material doing this line. A little bit awkward, but it is what it is. Couldn't come up with anything particularly relevant to do with it. There are... So, if you want to just get it off the board, so in this case it'd be 5, that's the extra material, right? If you feel like it, you can just pop it with Baron, just to not have it laying around. I put it in attack mode, but you don't have to. It could have been in D mode if you were like worried about OTKs or whatever. You can pop it preemptively as well, because here I just went ahead and made, what's the big one? The Desiree, but if you wanted to, you could instead pop the 5 with Baron, and then have the extra field space, so that you could get Caesar. That's his name. You need extra field space to make Caesar. But it's just up to you. If you have any ideas to what the opponent might be on, you can try to counter that a little bit. And yeah, here as well, I'm just going through the Agnan Day line. Totally not necessary. You can just stick with just equipping sequence from field if you'd rather do that. But there you go. That's the board. That's a combo with Just Dance. So pretty similar field, not bad. Again, during the opponent's turn, Chaos gets to equip. That's going to get us back the level 7. That was why it was important as well that 7 ended up in the graveyard. If 7's still on the field, it won't have its effect live because it would have been summoned off of Dance, not off of the effect of level 5. But, yeah, that's it for this deck. I had a lot of fun brewing this up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the profile. Let me know if you try it out, how it goes for you, what you think of it, and I will be back later with some more decks. Peace.